Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on folks. Your man, Lloyd George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And this is going to be the last Muscle Talk Monday for 2025. Can you believe it, folks? We're just about a couple of days away from a new year. Seems like 2025 just started. And now at the end, we just finished Christmas. That's wrapped up and done. And now we have, the new year coming up. That's going to be Wednesday. Folks, this is for me doing this content, and for this year, it's been pretty good. Honestly, as you know, I did a couple of things this year. I went out of town. The most I've ever done, I can remember in my lifetime. I'm a homebody, or I was working a lot. I went out of town. I went to Tampa, a place I've never been before. I've been to Florida a couple of times, but I've never been to Tampa. I've been to Orlando, Kissimmee, because I went with family, went to Disney World. And, and then I went to Atlanta to visit my oldest niece and my oldest, he says he's kind of my oldest great nephew. If you look at it, yeah, he's one of my great nephews, got quite a few. And, it was a great experience for me. And I got to meet a great lady. I was hoping for her to make it to here, but she's busy. Our dear friend, the lovely Miss Eunice Martinez Kitchens, aka the boss of Bad Rap, along with her partner Jolene Floops. They run Bad Rap. I got to meet them both, hang out with them, also help them with their Bad Rap booth while I was at Tampa. And also, I got to meet this young gentleman too. He's been following my channel, and you know what? He's been coming on here and helping out and really giving some knowledge. He's really a fan of these females in bodybuilding. We have here my man Alex.
Hey George,
Alex is in the building. Yeah, and we both wearing up Bad Rap hats. This is the one Eunice gave me. She gave it to me. It's so nice. I really want her to be here, but I understand she has a business to take care of and stuff like that. But hope we might get her for our first Sunday roundtable for 2026. So, hey, bud, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm spending the last week of 2025 at my folks' home at the Villages. They were out for a couple of days, so I'm house sitting my childhood cats. They're doing pretty well. I hope their son say hi to them. For those who are Shell George, but I can say hello to my oldest right here, my sweet Abigail. Biggest,
Oh,
yeah,
sweet
over
Abby.
15 years she is. She's
15
real.
years.
And
15 years. God bless her.
my escape artist slash roommate since my teens Sunday. If you can see her,
It's
he loves me
sweet.
out there.
Yes.
I once made a college short film about her, about a Prince of the Pauper type story where two identical cats, one who wanted to go outside so badly, and there's this stray cat that looks like the cat. They switch places for today. It was a long. It was one of my feast films back in the day.
Also, folks, it's not just going to be just hard legs here. We have here a lady. I hope we have some more ladies coming in later. We have the lovely Mrs. Randy Bean.
Hi, Randy.
Hey guys.
Good
Hey
to
guys,
see you.
can you hear me?
Hey,
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm
yeah,
just
we can hear
driving,
you.
so
Yeah,
that's why you can't see me right now.
How are you, Randy?
yeah.
I'm
On the
doing
road
good, Alex.
again.
How are you?
I'm good.
You know,
I'm still trying to adjust some of that drawing I did for you some time ago. I'm hoping, I'm trying to make some adjustments for you and some of the other Bad Rep clients. I hope you don't mind the patience. I'm trying to work something
No,
out.
no, not at all. It's amazing, and I have some new pictures from my last national show, so I can send you some other stuff if you feel like that might be better. That would be great. I'd love to put it on a coffee mug. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, that's the difficult part right now. Eunice and I are just currently talking about that right now. I'm trying to scale the size of each drawing into the copy mug. We're trying to work something out to make it better. We're currently discussing it right now. So we're hopefully something will come out for this. Just give me some. It's sometimes not easy.
Nope. Take all the time you want. That is definitely something that I have no talent in. So you take all the time that you need.
Thanks, I
so,
appreciate
all
it.
right, folks. 2025, it's just couple of days away to be gone. And a lot of things have happened in the sport of bodybuilding. There's some controversies and stuff going on. I mean, the sport, it's even though it doesn't get as much consideration compared to other sports, it's still, I think, as again, I'm a fan. And I've seen a lot of things, especially doing this content. I got to meet people in this process, like when I met Alex when I was at Tampa. Randy's been on here quite a few guys, both as a guest and also as a commentator on some situations, and I appreciate that. So, one thing I think we got to get out of the gate is Sarah Villas. Just,
I'm,
I
I'm I am so over this. I can't even. I was training with my coach today, and him and I were talking about it. First of all, that Matt from Muscle Discord should just be eliminated and off of YouTube. Um, I'm just done with it. I'm over it. You know what? In our sport, like, people do stuff. They do. I'm not saying that like I condone it. If that's not, I wouldn't put that into my body, but there's no rules. So unless you're going to sit there and unless you're going to make rules and enforce them, then discussion closed. The judges ultimately have that power to mark down the athletes if it's not right. But I'm over it. And now what they're doing to Natalia is they're just trying to just ruin her. I don't think that they will be able to. She's very strong, but I mean, I'm over it. And they're doing the same thing to Derek Lunsford, um, and it's ridiculous. Either set some rules into place, and that means like, okay, we're going to be talking about synthol, and then we're going to be talking about all the PEDs and all the things and all the stuff. We all know that this is very common in bodybuilding. I'm not saying that it's something that's like I'm all about, but it is what it is. And it's like, breast augmentation and butt enhancements. And I mean, like, where do we draw the line? So I'm over it. I'm over them talking about it. I'm over them discussing it. I'm over it.
well, thing is, you're over it, but the rest of the everybody keep talking because you know what, Sarah, she's been a champion for a good while, and recently she just teamed up with top level bodybuilder. That's Chris Cormier. Chris has been in the game for a long time. He's been a guy who's so close to being Mr. Olympia doing his career.
Yeah.
And there's been some talks and controversies. I saw this and I posted on my social media where they talk about how they're saying that it should be competitors should be fined. There's discussions about the use of PMAs. I mean, there are some people on one side saying that what, it's like you rings. It's one of the factors of maybe in the sport. Others feel like it's like the issue go back with steroids, which is always going to be controversy
Right.
because almost every sports use it.
But
But
George,
bodybuilding,
there's no rules. There's no set rules and boundaries. And that's what the problem is that if there was a clear path to rules, then I would get it. But again, it's at the judge's discretion to mark these athletes down. And Sarah, be a true champion. And you know what? If you're pissed off that Natalia win, come back and beat her next year. You don't see Andrea doing this.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
yeah, because you know what? One thing Andrea's not going to ever lose. I'm just going to be
Right.
like this. I'm gonna say it. She comes to top level. But I'm hearing some things from people that her and her husband, they might be planning on something soon. Not certain, as you know, he promotes her, he sponsors her. He also, Sarah is, she put up some prize money for the Texas Pro.
Right.
And also the award is, last time I saw Sarah, she was actually working as a award. She was giving out awards in women's physique for the nationals, and also she did an interview with one of the women who won the overall at nationals. She's also having some issues with some other people. One person in particular is Sean Ray.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, she made some comments to Sean. If I can find it, I think it's somewhere on social media.
And Bob Ciccarello too. She's not
Yeah, Bobby Chick.
she's not a
Yeah,
Bobby Chick fan.
and, the thing is, I think in some aspects, you're always going to have the issue of what's going on in sport, and these two guys understand that. They understand what's involved with it, but also, there's about controversy here. I'm pulling this video. I think it's from, I think he was having a discussion, him and Bob, and this is also their year in review. So I'm gonna pull up here.
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Wait a minute, it says, I thought this is not the. They had it somewhere. They were talking, but it might be on something else. But Sean's been in the game, and I know it was something they were talking to each other about. I believe it's here.
Yeah, it was on. It was actually on Bob Ciccarello's. What is it? Bob, the voice of bodybuilding. He had Sean Ray, and they had a whole discussion regarding this whole thing with Sarah.
Yeah, I think it should be. See, where's Bob? Bob should be on here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
And it's just, it's ridiculous because I don't think, I mean, I'm not a huge Sean Ray fan. I think, Sean Ray is a little too much for me. But I think that nobody's saying that, this is great and this is okay, like what they're doing. But what they're saying is what a lot of people are saying is that show us the rules. And ultimately the judges have the power to mark those athletes down if it doesn't look right. But it's I wanted to, I was, like I said, my coach and I were talking about it all day today, and they've called out, my coach is Ron Harris, and they've called him out a bunch of times on this too. And it's just, he said eventually it'll die down, but and then there's a whole big thing with like Tarek and his brother, the El Gundy brothers.
Yeah.
And they, Ron had told me, he said he had talked to somebody who is like, the top-notch journalist for bodybuilding in Brazil, and they haven't talked in 3 years, the brothers. They don't get along.
Not surprising. We have here some comments here. Shout out to man DJ Jeff coming through. He was here yesterday. Last night, I wanted to interview with April Cosmato, and he says this. Hi George, do you read my comment about my idea in Delilah interview for Sunday? But I didn't read it. Also, he says this. He says, "Hi to wait a minute. Maybe this computer's kind of funny sometimes." He says, "I found." Says hi to Randy. Alrighty, say hello to
Hey
Randy.
there.
Also, he says this. He says, Give a second. I would say 25 was a lot of sadness for me, but I'm happy. Okay. And because he says on this also, he says, I found this cool channel. Oh, I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah,
So that's the thing is that
there was some drama and some tragedy this year and some unfair news we had this year. It was especially with the son and death of filmmaker Rob Reiner. That was that was a stab in the oh my god, that was a bad pun. Oh, that was what literally happened to him and his wife. Oh god. Sorry, that was a bad pun. Sorry. But
that's
you
not
get my
bad
point.
pun. That's
You get my
it's
point.
not bad pun. It's just it happened. It was sad that it was their own child that did it. You would
Exactly.
think.
I know that's exactly what happened. A literal stab. A literal stab.
Yeah. And that's why we need to pay more attention in this country to mental health. It's so, and I think in our
children too.
I think in our sport we could do so much with that because there's a lot of extreme stuff that happens in our sport as well. And this whole thing with this PMA business, I think that Natalia is an extremely strong person, but sometimes, even the strongest, become weak and it affects their mental health. And I get concerned about things like this. I don't know if you guys saw recently the video that this Matt from Muscle Discord, who I despise, posted, and it was basically like, and it looked like my coach and I looked at it today, and it like if you look at it, Natalia, it looks like it's about 3 years old. It doesn't look new. She looks younger in the video, and it was basically her doing like a muscle worship thing, and he posted that all over and played it over and over and over again, just trying to sabotage Natalia.
Well, I did find that video. I will pull it up. You know, I know some people, they're a fan of him, others not so much. You know, so they feel like he's kind of like a trash talk show kind of Jerry Springer. No, not Jerry Springer, Morton Downey Jr. or Dick
Yeah,
Bailey. You know,
he's definitely trash.
here is this is a
It's creepy. It's creepy with what this dude is doing. I don't know. I got a lot of questions. It's not a good look. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a good look for an Olympia level athlete to be doing these type of things. I think at this level, you should know that this is a no-no. Don't do this. This is a bad career move. You shouldn't need to do it for the money. You should be, you got sponsors. You're competing at the Olympia. You know, you want to represent the Miss Olympia brand and the females and in a good look and with the integrity of the sport in mind. You don't want this to be in your background and what you're doing and weird muscle fetish worship things. That's already a bad stereotype for bodybuilding. You know, it's already not a good look. And now it's at the top level with Natalia in this video that's surfacing of her walking around with this dude and he's doing weird positions. This is like the Epstein file. I don't know. This is like the Epstein files that were leaked. And now we see this and we're getting all this weird footage and videos coming out. It's like the Mannion files instead of the Epstein files. I don't know. I mean, how much?
Understand this, dude. And, you know, like I said, I said many times, I'm not a big Natalia fan, but I do, in fact, she respects what I do in my content, and she's even supported. I remember one time I posted something, and somebody commented on it, and he said, well, you don't have to be a fan of mine. I like that fact he's supporting us women, talking about us. And she has come into some of my live streams, making comments. I remember when I was doing an interview with Tracy Guile. I think it was either our first or second interview. And she came in and commented. She's even, if I post something on Natalia on my YouTube, she'll comment on it. You know, she appreciates it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan, but I do appreciate her support.
Definitely. I was always like a Sarah fan. And you know, I don't, whatever she's doing in that video or whatever, that's not my game. It's not my bag. But you know, it was probably done a long time ago. I don't know if she would necessarily do that right now as being Miss Olympia. Who knows? But I don't think it factors, and I don't think that she's. And then for him to compare it to Jeffrey Epstein, I'm like, that's no. I don't know. It's just too bad that it had to come out, because now it just makes it even worse. You know.
Well, here's the thing is, quite a few ladies have done that. I know Andrea has done it.
Yes.
I know some others have done it because it's a way to make money. It's a way. It working with Sean. That's Sean Nelson. That's from Her Biceps, and you know, Her Biceps is probably one of the, as I call it, one of the most popular beat the meat websites, because there is a fetish for it, and some ladies take advantage because that's the way to make money. Because you know, as a competitor, as yourself, if you're a competitor, it's expensive to compete, and you got to find. And some women don't do it. You know, they don't have to do it. Some don't do it. Some of them do OnlyFans, but others do because they know it's a way to make money. Here, I got a couple of guests that popped in. We have here OCB, future IFBB pro, the lovely Miss Nicole Strauss.
No, it didn't. Hi, hey George, how are you? Hey, Alex, how are you?
Good. How are you?
And also we have our man, our Merlin. The
Nicole.
Merlin. I call him the Merlin of the West, the hand of the emperor. Jeremy from the Art of Female.
Jeremy, how you doing, man?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey Jeremy, how are you?
Jeremy has an interview tomorrow, folks. I will do this. I will leave the interview link in the description here. And comment, you want to check it out and want to support him. You know, it's been a while since he did an interview. It's great to see him doing one. So, folks, I'm glad you're here. You just saw the little video I played. If y'all did, I want to get your perspective. We start, as you know, I go by the rules. Ladies first.
I'm sorry. Can you fill me in on what I don't know who that guy was?
I'm sorry, guys. I have to cut out for a little bit, but I will be hopefully back.
Okay. Well, he runs a site called Muscle Discord.
Okay.
And he's not a big fan of Natalia. I don't think he is. He's been talking about stuff that's going on with the issue with the PMAs and the oil stuff like that. And he put this video from Natalia where she did something with her biceps, and quite a few compared. I remember Tina did one. She did her and Hunter, and that was like about 4 years ago.
Okay. And he's against women doing stuff like that, like what Natalia did, like showing off her biceps for men that have fetishes and stuff like that. He's saying he's against it.
Yep.
I don't think it's any of his business, honestly. Like you said, competing is very, very expensive. Not everybody has the means, and if that's the way to, get funding, so you can step on that stage. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's like you showed up your biceps. What are you doing? I don't think she's doing anything. I don't think she's doing anything wrong. That's my personal opinion. So,
man, Jeremy, what's your thoughts?
I think this guy is a wannabe journalistic hack who's coming out with this sort of thing. He's clearly got an agenda against Natalia because, like you said, I mean, if you're going to call this, if you're going to say that, how many IFBB pros are over on her biceps? How many people over there have posted over there, including Andrea Shaw, including Jessica Reyes Padilla, both other Miss Olympias right there, who have no problem going over there either. I mean, there are an awful lot of women that are going to be get called like this, but he's singling out Natalia and only Natalia. Why? Because of all the stuff that he's posted about her, because he's clearly got an agenda against her. So I'd just say ignore this fool.
maybe he likes her.
That's my thought. That's my thought.
Maybe he likes her and she rejected him.
Either that's the other thing too. Yeah. My life experience, the people who have the most opposition to something are usually the people who are involved in doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's over on a masked account over on her biceps. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all.
Yeah. I mean, because hey, I still have I don't be on it too much anymore like I used to. I have an account on herbiceps.com, and every now and then I go over and maybe talk to some ladies. Some ladies, we have conversations. They tell me some stuff. That's why I keep up with stuff. But other than that, it's something, as as I admit my crime, I am a muscle person smell. I admit that crime. We have here my man Josh Simkins. You can go check out his Muscle Women's IG.
Yep, Women's Bodybuilding Empire. How's it going? How's it going, Empire Nation?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh, welcome. As you know, 2025 is on the way out, bro.
Yep, for sure.
How does your went?
What?
What's your thoughts on how 25 went on going out, man?
Oh, we went on with a bang. My favorite one, Natalia Kuwait, Miss Olympia, you know what I'm saying? And just your girl. Yeah. Yep, that's your girl. But anyway, it went out pretty good. And with the Steve Carr Classic, that was the nail in the coffin right there. With the old school look, old school feel. That man, it was amazing.
That was a big event for me. Was just that coming clear out of the blue. I mean, nobody foresaw that coming, and it was like, oh my God! It's like I brought this up over on Olympia TV with Linda Marie and Isabel Terrell. Neither of them had heard about this. So until Chelsea Dion was a guest then, and she said that's when she told them about it, and she said, Dad, yeah, sign me up. He said, if you're interested in it. So I think it's wonderful that he decided to do that. I also took a look at the schedule for next year. They've added, I think, a couple of shows. I'm trying to remember exactly which ones they are. But the schedule is improving as far as how many shows are involved. I'm not exactly sure as to the number that we're up to now, but yeah, I think the other one that was I think the other big story, unfortunately, that was a negative was Sarah versus Natalia. So you had posted to me the video of Bob Chicarillo saying that basically she was done, and I would have to say I would say I think Sarah may have done a lot of damage to herself in how she handled and how she has handled this whole situation. So I don't know. We'll have to see as to what actually happens, but
Yeah.
Well, as I heard, like she's making some moves behind the scenes that people who know me, that know her, know this and that, are telling me her and her husband are making some moves. The big question is, because one show she often goes about every year and hang out as a New York pro. When you see her there, she's there about every other year. Maybe she's gonna lay low because she was at nationals. She was passing out trophies and awards, and even interviewed the lady who won the overall. That was, I think, was Courtney Vanek, I believe, who won the overall for women's physique. The question is, but the thing is, she does I think the IFB is going to give her a bit of pass because you know what she's doing. She's been putting her money where her mouth is.
right, she has. I mean,
and that's
that you got to respect because I mean,
Oh yeah, I do.
she has put in money into this, and she is actively trying to support it. So I mean, it's just all this crap with Natalia. I mean, just bury it already. I mean, you lost.
Thank you.
You lost fair and square. I
some
mean,
people
do
like,
do do
this,
what
look, this is how to like.
No.
I said women are like the outlaw Josie Wales. They live for the grudge, and that's the problem. Is some women live for the grudge. Like remember, she called out Shanique, when she retired, and say want to come back and hey, I'll pay this so much, and if you win, you get $50K. If you lose, I'll take all your trophies. She's just one of those people that is looking for a challenge or just want to prove something. Here we got some comments here from my man DJ Jeff. He says this. Shout out to DJ Jeff. He says, and maybe bodybuilding can be a part of the Olympics. Nah, Joe.
Not anytime soon.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's
Not anytime soon.
Very different lifestyle. It's a lifestyle more than a sport.
Yeah.
Well, you guys realize that Joe and Ben Weider, the Weider brothers, that was their goal. They wanted to do that. They wanted.
I heard about that.
They wanted to add bodybuilding to the Olympics. They actually submitted a request to the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, saying, "Hey, can we get this in?" So it's like that was a major goal of theirs when they were alive.
Yeah,
was to get it in the Olympics.
Because Joe was the front man, Ben was the brains, and they reached out, but then they turned him down because they always say used to of using performance enhancers. But everything with Ben Johnson, Marion Jones, and a bunch of other athletes have been busted on it, but everybody took a blind eye to that compared to bodybuilding. We have a comment here again from man DJ. Shout out to him. Stick it in here. He says they need to be special rules for bodybuilding. Well, there's some rules.
What kind of special rules?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
What special rules?
Yeah, we talked before how it should be maybe testing for some of these things, but the problem is you can't find these things. You can't see it under a microscope like that. Even if you do take a piss test or something like that, you're not going to catch it. Shout out here. He says he has a lot of comments, and I want to get them all because
it looks like you got a fan.
Yeah. Can we also see a new upcoming people competing just for the love of the sport? Well, it'd be nice. We just got some new pros.
Yeah, we got some new blood coming up.
Mm-hmm.
One lady I just interviewed Saturday, Haley May. And Haley was, she was going to do nationals, but because of, illness, she had to drop out. But she told me that her plan is she's going to do USA's next year. And she wants to, because she lives in Florida, she wants to do the Tampa show right after she gets a pro card. I don't know if you ever saw Haley. I'm going to pull her up because, she's young. I think she has, because she's just 28 years old, she got some ways to go. I think, she was previously a power lifter. I think she started following me on my IG account. She also just started her own YouTube channel. And let's see.
So wait, you said that she.
Pull it
Say
up.
again what her plans were. I didn't hear all of that. What were her plans again?
Her plan was to do, her plans is to do the USA's next year,
Okay.
and she's planning on if she gets her pro card in USA's, then she'll make her pro debut at Tampa.
Okay.
She's she's and she's like I said again, she's impressive. I mean, um,
Oh
she
yeah.
was she was hoping, she's hoping to try to do nationals, but nationals she got sick the day of, and she had to drop out. And she was a power lifter, and she and her husband run their own gyms. They have at least three of them, and also she runs her own little business on the side where she makes cookies. She does a little baking.
Yep. She's a busy
But like
woman.
I said, yeah, she's a busy young lady. I mean, she has that potential. She says she wants to do exclusively women's bodybuilding, and I think mm, I think like she is still to get to women's bodybuilding level is. I think she should. I know she wants to women's bodybuilding because the judge told her to do it at her last show when she got her national qualification. But also, she's still young. She's 28.
Hmm.
It's going to take a good while for her to really to grow in that division, but she has that potential. And we talk about quite often how we see ladies in WPD who should move up. Like okay, like I'm gonna ask you guys this year, who do you see that you believe will probably do better in women's bodybuilding than women's physique? We'll go with Alex.
Alex.
Oh, that's a tough one. I know some of these ladies really had. I know some have improved this year. I know Olive Levy, for example, she really improved since last year. So that was, but for I know it's a real tough one because it's a real tough one to be honest. It's because I know there were some ups and downs for these ladies this year. It's sorry. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm trying to.
Get something together, and we'll come back and just pop in that. Jeremy, who you looking at? You said probably should go up to women's bodybuilding. Yo, Jeremy.
Sorry about that.
Jeremy. I agree with
My
that.
mic was muted. Somebody that I just found out is moving up of her own accord from women's physique to women's bodybuilding. Farrah Faulkner.
Yeah, she just
She's
yeah.
made.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she just posted not too long ago.
Yeah.
Made the decision to move up. I saw her pictures from Romania Muscle Fest of this year. It was kind of low. She was kind of low in the placings, but I think given some time, I think she could do well. That would be the one that would be the one and only one that comes to mind immediately. I guess the big question for me is now that Dylan Crenshaw has gotten, as I understand it, didn't she get two pro cards? One in women's bodybuilding and one in women's physique? Or
No, she only got
did she only get the one in women's physique?
one in women's. She only got one in women's physique.
Okay, I thought she got two, but I guess it was mistaken.
No,
So
she did both women's bodybuilding and women's physique
right,
nationals.
I was wondering though if she qualified for pro card in both, but I guess not.
Yeah, but the only two people because with women's bodybuilding and nationals, you only get one pro card per class, and that was light heavyweight and heavyweight. She competed, I think, in light heavyweight, and she didn't get a pro card. I think she was either second or third in the light heavyweight, but she won in her class in women's physique and
Okay.
competed at the overall at nationals. It was her, Montana Frey, and Courtney Vanek. But Vanek was the one who won the overall.
Okay.
At women's bodybuilding, it was I think Taylor Schmuck and Kelly Larkin for the overall,
Hmm.
and Schmuck won the overall. Okay. Josh, who you see, any woman you see in WPD that might need to go up
Let's
to.
see. I know you disagreed with me on this one the last time. It was Julia Charade, uh, well, Brigitte, and Dr. Meg. That was our only three women I could see that can have the potential to move up to women's bodybuilding.
I would agree with Dr. Meg. I think if she
Maybe
decided to make
possibly.
that,
Okay, maybe it's possible. Yeah, possible. If it's but that's up to her. She
Yeah,
really
it's up to them though.
not us. It's her, up to them.
Exactly.
yeah, this
Somehow
somebody
somehow she
somebody
is
that
with
came
her.
to. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Alex, what
Oh,
about to say?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, Dr. May can be, she can be very personal with other people. She just wants to focus on what she does best, and I think and I understand that. So I don't know. It's very hard. It could be possible if she does, just in case she doesn't do well for the next couple shows of the six. Maybe bodybuilding could be okay. I mean, there was one contest where she had a lot of weight onto her. As she mentioned, she does look almost like a bodybuilder. She almost has it. Just I think I don't know. Again, it's very it's a complicated decision. It's up to her.
Well, I remember from Obama Channel said she actually weighed more than Andrea when she was on the stage at Texas, I
Oh
believe.
wow.
And she's. I met a couple. Oh, I saw me and David got to see her and talk to her a bit when she was at Tampa, and she's. I feel like she's on that cusp. As you know, she was. I think she was originally doing figure. I think was it before, and then she took a couple years off. She's right. She lives in my next door neighbor in South Carolina. Um, she's there. Plus, I think there's a great look to her. Very attractive, feminine.
Yep.
If she moves into women's bodybuilding, I think you get more people pay attention to it. She's at that cusp. She's about as big as you look at someone like another person I saw there also at Tampa, Chelsea Dion. She's just about as big as Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that comes to mind, I've thought this woman should have changed to WBB a couple years ago because of the way that she looks now, and I still think that today. Sarah Bradley,
Oh yeah.
small but mighty 20. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
look at her physique. She's apparently said, the last I heard, she said she wants to stay in WPD, but look at her physique. She
Woo!
she
Oh
she
yeah.
is
That.
she is already in WPB and she's been there for a
I
couple
mean, look at
years
her
now.
head.
Right. So it's like I think if she made the switch, not only could she win a pro show, she could win a pro show and go to the Olympia with that
Mm-hmm.
look easily.
That is
So
women's bodybuilding.
right, it is. So I don't
She's
understand why she's going to stay there. Why she's going to stay in WPD? Because she's women's bodybuilding all the way. I don't see how she could see that wasn't the case. There was a fellow competitor of hers, Romana. How do you pronounce her last name?
Romana Scottson. Yeah,
Romana
I know Romana.
Scottson. And then
See, that's why I always say their first names.
she
I was
was
butchering them.
she was she was the same. She was in WPD until I guess somebody told her to make the switch, and she is all women's bodybuilding too. She's now in women's bodybuilding. But if there is anybody that comes to mind immediately who should be making the jump, it's Sarah. Because that is women's bodybuilding all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because her density is just crazy. She's really outgrowing the division, and I think she last time competed was in 2023. I think she did Texas Pro, and I don't know why not the judges talk to her and say, "Hey, dear, you are too big for this division. Even if you do cut down, you still have quite a lot of mass. Your
Mm-hmm.
traps are a lot bigger than someone you see right now." One person I've often said that this is my opinion, and I'm going to keep saying this. She could do well in women's bodybuilding, and that is Rachel Daniels. And
Yes, she
I
could.
don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Uh,
get. Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah, sure. Maybe. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, she almost looks like that too. She almost has the aesthetics for it as well.
Yeah, because if you look at her quads, are a lot bigger than some physique competitors. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she put on maybe 10 more pounds of muscle, not too much. And she's also a great poser. People like her style. So I'd say personality is kind of, because she took a step back recently because of she has some mental issues going on with her. And, she decided not to compete at the Olympia this year. And everyone's surprised, but when we saw her last time, because she was like, she last time competed was back in 2023, and she was 2022, I think it's 2022, and she took some time off because she had gotten divorced. She had went through a dog attack. She comes back. She takes second at Pittsburgh, right behind Natalia, and then
Mm-hmm.
she wins the Ultimate Classic. And also, I remember when, if I can find that picture, she also coaches Richard. Keisha Oliver is one of her clients, and I still look at that picture when they're standing together. And if it's here, it might be somewhere way down if I can find it. They were standing together taking pictures, and you could see how much bigger her quads was compared to Keisha. And Keisha is women's bodybuilding. Keisha won the women's 40 plus class, which got her qualification for the Masters Olympia that year. But yeah, think about it. I didn't talk to Keisha. She's thinking about it, but then you got to think about it was so late. In the year for that. I mean, they could have pushed it and maybe make a qualification 2027. But you know, Rachel, maybe again, just maybe a few more pounds of muscle. She most definitely can go up to women's bodybuilding.
Well, I guess
Most
this.
definitely.
I guess there's this one that comes to mind. She competed recently at nationals in women's physique. I don't know. Let's see if it's in bodybuilding or not, but I think this is a girl who needs to explore more natural competitions here in the IFBB, and that's Natalie Hayes, because
Yeah,
she
I
because
yeah I
she
remember.
is she's done, as far as natural competitions go, she's done incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was both in she competed in both women's bodybuilding and women's physique at nationals. But I mean, outside of the NPC in the Natties, I think she just got yet another world championship,
Oh wow.
like within the last couple of weeks. So as far as women's bodybuilding and women's physique go in the Natty federations, she's like number one in the world.
Woo
So
wee.
it's like, I think that if she would explore more of number one, if IFBB would come up with more natural pro shows,
Oh wow.
and
Shout out to her.
would give her that opportunity, I think as far as natural pro shows, she'd do really really well.
Mhm.
So I
I,
hope I
yeah,
hope that not only she considers that going into natural pro shows in the IFBB, but also make a greater investment in that as far as the IFBB goes, to make more of an investment in natural pro shows. Because a girl like that, I mean, she could be the face of the division.
She could.
mhm.
So
Yeah. I think one mistake she made was instead of doing women's bodybuilding, she stick with physique and she should have done figure. I think she could have got her pro card in figure because you got to remember a lot of those competitors at nationals were also doing women's physique there too because they want to get the pro card. She has a great shape. The thing is, again, it's going to be harder for her because she's competing against enhanced competitors. She done nationals last year, um, and there's only I think this year add I think another show, a natural show, to the list. I saw it. I think it's supposed to be. I don't think it's a Olympic qualification show, but there are a couple they're trying to add on. Plus, you have the Ben Weeder Classic, and also Pittsburgh. They done it this year. They might do it next year. Is they're gonna have a natural pro qualifier. I would say if you got your regional qualification, do that show in Pittsburgh. She most definitely can probably get her pro card in Pittsburgh, or you know, like I said again, switch and do figure and women's physique. and see how you fare. You know, you can. There's opportunities there. You can
Yeah.
do the universe, or possibly a show like, or if you see one do women's bodybuilding, there is the Miss International. Just need at least enough women to qualify for that show.
Yeah. She'll look good in figure.
Yeah.
You know who else
we get some
know who else
comments here. What?
I was gonna say Jess Felborn. She would do good in women's bodybuilding, which she already announced.
Yeah, she's moving over, and I think it fits for her because
Yep.
she's kind of. I think with shorter women, they can put on the muscle more than when you're a
Yeah.
lot tall. If you look at someone like Michaela Aycock, how she was built, and I just saw this. Michaela is working with Ava Manello as a coach.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Michaela did. I think Michaela's a great choice to trade Ava. I wish the best for both for Ava and Michaela.
Yeah, I think like, and we all know Michaela. She announced her retirement. So it's quite a few other ladies. Like we just heard that Barbara Jean has retired from competition. And Lorraine Moon. That's one of two French women that represent in the IFBB. We know about Melissa Tyke stepping aside. She says she's not competing, but she's still working the sport in a way. Who else that threw in their hat this year that we heard?
Let's see, Amanda Almendover threw in her hat, and she said she's gonna be stepping away, doing some coaching.
What was that name? You talked about her. What was her name? She was a physique competitor. She's a French.
Barbara Jean just mentioned her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed her right after she did the 2022 Olympia, years ago. Here we got some comments. This is from our man DJ Jeff. He says, "Can we also see upcoming people competing just for the love of the sport?" Well, yeah, that's a possibility. You got to love the sport. Shout out to him. He says to Randy. Randy, I agree with you about the mental health. Also, he says this. He says, Randy, do you have a YouTube channel that I can follow you with? Yeah, you can. I think she has a YouTube. She has an account, so you can check it out. He says hello to Nicole Strauss. Nicole stepped out for a bit. Also, he says, hey, a female muscle. I like the channel, and also he says, it's Nicole. I just subscribed to your page. Shout out Nicole. And also he says this. He says, the art of female muscle. I agree with you. And he says, just to know the topic. He says, what's up, Josh?
What's good?
He said, this says, Josh, how do I find your channel?
Go to Instagram, and it's under Women's Bodybuilding Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been wondering who that was. I didn't realize that was you. Okay.
Yeah. Also, we have here guests. Our man KL the Wanderer. He's working today, so he can't be. It says, hey, George and panel. Hey there, KL. Yeah, thank you for coming through, brother. Yeah. But you know what? As you know, bodybuilding, we talk about the subject quite often about what can they do to promote themselves. What can the sport do to get more mainstream attention? If Raheem Hamilton was here, he'd have a solution.
Yeah, you don't have.
But again, is that one thing that I'm seeing is a while back, I talked about this, that you heard that in next month, Sid Gillen, Judah Wetzel, another IFB pro, is going to do the Mr. Beast reality game show.
That's a start. Yeah, that is a good start, actually. That does give a little throwback to almost like vibes to American Gladiators. Now, that was a show back in the day, back when people did,
Man, I used to love that show.
At the time, yeah, like Ray Hollett or
seeing Ice and all them, and who else? Yeah, there were so many of them.
Yeah. Well, we got my guests back. We have here Nicole's back, and we have here Randy. She's here, Yeah, we got her here. So welcome back, ladies. I get tired of looking at these
Welcome
hallways.
back.
Nice to
Hey
have some.
guys.
Nice to have some
Hey,
ladies on
hey.
here. Ladies.
We got the
Sorry,
ladies.
I had to stuff
Ladies.
my
Oh,
face with a Five
ladies.
Guys burger. It was really good.
That's him up for a burger.
Well, hey, Coach said three cheat meals a week now, so that's what I'm trying to do.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Do what
that's
Coach says.
Good.
But I'm gonna ask you, ladies, what do you think bodybuilding needs to promote themselves, and also for the competitors?
I mean, I think we need to see more with women's physique and women's bodybuilding starting at a regional level. I think there need to be maybe more shows in different areas. Like I live in Boston, and we only have MPC only has they have three big ones. They have Jay Cutler sponsors too, and then there's one in Rhode Island, and then there's a couple of small ones like in Vermont and Maine, which don't get anybody. And now they have more natural stuff that's going on with MPC, but there needs to be more promotion. And like starting starting from an amateur level, and also looking at the, at the what they're charging. So I just did Masters USA in Las Vegas, and I will tell you, I will never again. They charged $400 for one class. 400 bucks. And then your travel and your meals and all that other stuff that goes into it. And they had actually asked me, if there was anything, because I had traveled so far, that they could have done to make it better so that I could have competed more. And I said, well, yeah, lower your fees, and then we had a very small turnout for women's physique and women's bodybuilding. And even for women's bodybuilding, they were looking for women to cross over or give up women's physique because they didn't have enough competitors to be able to award a pro card. So they had to merge the 40 and the 50 plus categories together, which I felt terrible about. But I don't know. I think the promoters need to do a little bit better,
How about a base salary from the IFBB Pro League to all of its competitors?
Right.
Because it is because again, it's calling itself a professional league, professional as in making a living.
Right.
So does
two keywords: professional league.
Right. Does it qualify as a professional league if overwhelming majority of competitors like you, Randy, can't make a profession off of it?
Right.
Because the money is one way. It's you paying the fees. The only way that you recoup anything is if you place in the top 5 or the top 6 at a pro show.
Right.
And that's it. That's the
this,
one and only way. And that's from the group of people. I just see it as you ladies are getting used.
Well,
It really is what it is, because you're being used to make money, but what are you making in return from the very people who are doing that? Pretty much nothing.
Right. And like from an amateur perspective, I mean, to go to a national level show and pay all of this money, I think even at an amateur level, things need to be done a little bit differently. And I don't know, they don't see it that way because they just see dollar signs. And I mean, they put all their eggs into like fit model and wellness and bikini, right?
I saw you do that when you were interviewed over on Female Bodybuilding Show. I heard you do it, but then it was like AJ was saying, no, you can't do that. I was like, tell it to him, George.
That's right, Tone.
It's just, I understand it's about getting attention, but here's the thing is, you're bringing in a division that's going to end up looking like the division you're supposed to be making a reboot of. Those women in the next 2 or 3 years are going to look like what the women like. I'm like one lady. I actually met one of her clients a while back, Tiffany Saint. Now she does wellness. This woman could do women's bodybuilding, and you got to think about it. This is wellness. It's supposed to be a certain look to it, certain aesthetic,
right?
But if you have women in a division that looking like it's supposed to be more, very feminine, very streamlined. But if you are a wellness competitor and you have abs, they don't want you to have too much of certain things, too much aesthetics, but it's just
outside.
it's just like I said, like my man Kiefer said, it don't make dollars don't make sense,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not even in divisions like physique and women's bodybuilding. They're not sitting down and setting to the guidelines where the division is supposed to be, one thing is that, as we talked about quite a few times, Jeremy, sorry, how they always going to pull up the reason about bodybuilding for is because of steroids. I just pulled up Tiff Sam's IG, and this is her hanging out with Big Jane. Now, honestly, folks,
I mean, come on, look at her quality pair of Big James.
And she's supposed to be wellness. And Big Jane's women's bodybuilding. Big Jane, she did Toronto. Right now she's working on some things, and she's did a little interview with my man David when she was down in Florida visiting her family for the holidays. And where is the judging? Why are you telling these ladies? What are you telling them that you're telling them what your perspective, what they want them to be? And I put this in the post. How about if Christina Mendoza's going over the wellness, let's switch her for Tiffany Sam?
I don't think that's going to work with Christina. I think she's got too much upper body mass.
Yeah, she does. She's got a long way to go.
She's going to have to train, I guess it's catabolically. I mean, in order to be able to break down all that dense muscle that she's got in her upper body. Until she does that, I don't see how it's going to work. But now, you said the other girl was Tiffany Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, apparently she posted a video over on her YouTube a couple months ago where they did in fact tell her that I guess her legs are too big for wellness. And her response to that is, I'm not big enough. So I guess that was her decision to do, but I'm like, okay, but if even the judges are telling you you're getting too big,
right? But again, Jeremy, it goes back to like there's no clear. We've talked about this before. There's no clear guidelines. There's not.
No, there aren't. There's right.
Not. You look at women's physique and you look at women's bodybuilding, and clearly Natalia could go into women's bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. Keith said the same thing. Keith Williams said the same thing last time it was on here.
There's not, and and it's. I always ask for judges' feedback. This time at my national show, I was so tired, and my cortisol levels were so shot that I didn't ask for feedback this time. I was judged by Sandy Williamson's, and again, like I want to know, like what are you thinking? Because every show that I've done, I've gotten really good feedback. The Northeast judges are fabulous. That's Steve Weinberger, Jose Raymond, Justin Randall. They're all amazing. And they literally will tell you at the end of the day, this is what it is. At the end of the day, you need to be conditioned. At the end of the day, we want to see full muscle bellies. At the end of the day, we want to see this. So it's much clearer. But if you go in front of a different set of judges, I've been judged by Sandy, I've been judged by Tyler, and I've been judged by Steve. You can't get any better than that, right? But they're all different, but they should be the same. So they tell you that you need to get smaller, or not smaller, you need to get leaner. So you get leaner and you lose muscle. And now they're telling you that you need to come in bigger and fuller. So there's no guidelines.
Yeah.
There hasn't been for years.
No.
There was a girl when I went to, what was it? I think it's 2007 Junior Nationals. So this is a while ago. This is almost like going on 20 years ago.
Oh wow!
And this girl was expressing her frustration. The exact same thing is that she said, "Oh well," she goes to one judge. She says, "Okay, well, build your legs up," and then she trains like a mad fiend in the gym with her legs, trying to build them up. But then, as far as she can tell, she succeeds. She goes to the next show. She goes, "Oh, your legs are overpowering. They're throwing off your symmetry. You need to tone this down." I mean, how y'all women are able to stay sane in the midst of that? I don't know, because I would go nuts after a while with
We're
that
not.
kind of and that
I will
keeps.
tell you first, Sam, we're not sane. But hey, I don't know how it is for Nicole, because Nicole, are you in? Are you there?
She is.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. I'm listening. I'm here.
So where you do OCB, which is a little different, right?
Mhm.
What's that like? I mean, are you encountering the same issues that I encounter in the MPC
Okay.
or the
My,
IFBB?
my my thing is this, sorry. So I got the feedback from my judges, and they were telling me that one of the things she was telling me was my quads need to come in a little bit leaner. But the thing is that when I go to my next show, who's to say I'm gonna have the same judges? So I can, like I say, work my ass off, get my quads as lean as possible. Come in leaner, and then the next judge could be like, "Oh, you come in too lean." You know what I'm
So
saying? Or
so
it could be the same thing.
so
It could be the
you're
same.
getting what we're getting on the
Yeah,
MPC and IFBB.
the same because you're not gonna have the same judges for every show.
Right. And they're all different, and they all want
Yeah,
different things. And it's so
yeah,
frustrating because I'm just like, will you tell me what you want?
Right.
You
And
know,
be
yeah.
and
I
be
give it.
consistent. Be
Yeah,
consistent in what you say you want.
right,
Not just for individual competitors, but the entire division. I
right.
mean, you look at the list of words that are there on the written criteria of women's physique of what you're not supposed to be. What are the first four words? Ripped, peeled, shredded, striated.
Yep,
Are Natalia and Sarah ripped, peeled, shredded, and striated?
absolutely.
They're the
yes.
top two competitors in the division, and according to the criteria, they're exactly what they're not supposed to be.
100%.
So
Mhm.
I've said it before here. I know it sounds like science fiction. I honest to God think this would work. Take it out of the hands of humans, give it to the machines.
Yeah.
Give it to
Give,
AI.
give it to the machines. Make the machines the judges.
The thing is
That might
that
actually
people talk about
that
that.
might actually be reality. That might actually be reality one
Well,
day. The way AI is
I
going.
say it could be. You've got equipment that will do a full 3D body image in the computer of your entire physique. They use that now to calculate everything
Oh
from
yeah, I've
BMI
been
to
seeing
they
that.
use that to calculate everything from BMI to fashion. If you
Yep.
want a suit tailored to your exact body dimensions, they could do it all in the computer before they sew a single stitch. So I
It's
mean,
just
the technology is there. Are we willing to use it?
it's too bad because there are such good
The thing is,
judges that are out there. And I mean, I will tell you, like, firsthand, Steve Weinberger has judged me about 5 or 6 times, and him and I have had great conversations. And I mean, this is huge. He's the head of the O. He's the head judge for the O. He's been doing this for a minute, and he's very concrete about things, and he's very like matter of fact about it. This is what it should be. This is what it whatever. But you go and you go down to the mid states, and I had Gary Udit and that team judge me, and Tyler, and it was completely different, you know. So it's just a mind f. Sometimes I'm like, what do you want me to do today? I don't know what it is that you want, but
yeah. And the thing is, Tyler. Here's the thing about Tyler. I'm gonna say this. I'm always gonna say this. He's wet behind the ears and his breasts are like Similac. He barely got off his mama titty. This is where everybody's on his. I actually saw him when he was at Tampa. Everybody's on his written word or whatever else, but you have not really established yourself as you have never been a competitor. You only been working in the sport for maybe 5-6 years at the most, and the only reason you're there because who your daddy is, who your granddaddy is.
Right?
So
Appointed, not
Mhm.
elected. Not elected, appointed.
yeah.
and then people like I made a comment when doing my interview with the Female Bobby channel. I talked about that's that Courtney Vanek should be in figure. And they said, no, she makes it. What's the bigger judge? What's bigger? Her boyfriend started following me. He made comments and said, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's my point of view. It's not like it's the boy because what Tyler said, I don't think Tyler's word is anything. I think it's a grain of salt. Doing the show, keep on moving. When people like Steve Weinberger, Sandy Williamson, Tim Gardner, a couple others who's been in the trenches, who's been doing, who have been competitors too. With Steve, his wife, the ex-wife, changed the format of women's bodybuilding when Beth France was free. And Randy, you worked out with Bev. She's
I did. It was so cool. It was about 6 or 7 when I first started. We drove to Long Island, and I trained with her. It was supposed to be an hour session, and Bev's like, "You came all the way from Boston." She goes, "We're going for 2 hours," and she was so amazing. I can't even tell you. And to this day, I email and correspond with her, and she'll ask me to send pictures, and she'll tell me, "Keep doing what you're doing. Keep those muscle bellies full. Keep doing this. Keep doing that." Like, she's so on point, Same thing with Steve, so on point. I've never been judged by Tim. Sandy Williamson is on point too. She's another one. I mean, but they've judged for years, Jose Raymond, who's one of the best. I mean, when Jose looks at you and says, you need to work on this, like, Jose knows his stuff, but it's so inconsistent. And I hear that from a lot of people that, Tyler judged me, so it has to be like this. Tyler judged me too. You know what I mean? It just all depends. Unfortunately, it depends upon who shows up on that day at that time. But it's very frustrating when you get to a national level. Huge. Very, very frustrating.
Yeah. You got comment, shout to me, DJ Jeff. He's dropped his comment. He says, George, Happy New Year. I'm going to have some dinner. See you, Alex, Josh, Randy, and Nicole for February topic with fun and games and the topic, why do guys like female bodybuilders? Also, we have here my brother, Gucci23 coming through. He says, happy Monday, brother George and panel. Happy New Year to you all. Appreciate that, brother. And that's the thing is that, again, people like Steve, people like Tim, people like Sandy, and several others, Jose you mentioned, those have been competitors. Tim's been a competitor, even though Steve hasn't been a competitor, but he's been around sport for a long time. Sandy competed for a good bit. He's been around sport for a long time. Tyler is just somebody who's just, you're your grandfather's heir apparent because your dad's doing something else. He has some of his interests. If Jim retires, you don't know who's going to be president. It's going to be Tyler.
Yep, sooner than later.
I got to head out, guys. So good conversation. So everybody have a great 2026.
Yes.
If you're not tired like I am, my older age, enjoy your New Year's Eve, because all I'm going to do is watch the ball drop and go back to bed.
I'm not even doing that.
Me too.
Watch me fall asleep. But folks, instead again, my man, Jeremy is going to do an interview tomorrow. It's with who's again?
Rachel Newman.
Rachel Newman.
Yeah.
Nice.
The link is right here. I posted it in the comment section if you want to check it out. I'm also doing an interview a little earlier, so I might swing by later when my interview is done and social support, because it's been a while. We want to see our brother do some little more stuff. He's very knowledgeable. That's why I call him the hand of the emperor. I call him my Merlin.
Merlin.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it. See you all later, guys.
See you later.
Take care. Happy New Year.
See you later. Happy New Year. So, anyway, besides that, the thing is, bodybuilding, it's just a sport that I'm a fan of, and I've been following it. And for me, was this year when I got to go to a place I've never been before, and got to meet people that ladies that have interviewed on my channel, and ladies who got to meet before I did interview. I just interviewed with April Cosmato. I met her when I was in Tampa, and then getting to meet. This is my favorite picture. I love this. I got to meet Ashley Jones. Oh.
Ashley Jones.
Oh, that's a nice picture. I like that.
I feel that mama still there. I hug and love her. I call her George. And also another beautiful lady. Can't forget Sharon Hicks. And then meet some legends here. Right here, this is me. You got Bob Ciccarello. You have Kevin of Rome, man who I told you should have been Mr. Olympia a couple of times in your career. Right there, I got Tim Gardner on my side. Right there, I got Isabel Terrell. I try not to look at Isabel because Isabel is very. I try to keep my like a head on a swivel. And then for me, the greatest thing was meeting both Eunice and JoJo at
nice
at their great shout out to my sister. I appreciate this hat she gave me. They're right there with Levy, and also this is one that I love the most. And this is something, if you grew up like me and you remember this man, David Lee Roth. This is the most famous person I ever met in my life. I mean, I saw Alex Trebek at Disney World 3 years ago, but standing right there with Diamond Dave, the lead singer of Van Halen, was just just great for me.
That's why I always say expect the unexpected in life, and that was one of those.
That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is, because you know what, doing this content for as long as I've been doing it, and hearing young ladies' stories, like right here we have Randy and Nicole here, who's been guests here, meeting Alex. For me, and I mean, I feel like even though my channel is still a small channel, I'm just maybe a few hundred people away from 4,000 subscribers. My IG's now is big, but most of my base is YouTube, because that's where I really started. I'm still growing bit by bit. And I appreciate when I reach out to people like Nicole or Eunice or Randy or a couple of other ladies who come on here. My man Big Keith, my man Big Keith just had surgery. He's doing all right. I was talking with Tina. He's still healing. I know he probably would love to do this, but I want to give him some time to heal and get himself together. Maybe I'll reach out to him a few days and see if he want to do muscle talk again. But for me, 2025 was a highlight for me. I mean, I got out of my own comfort zone. I went someplace that I've never been before. I helped a friend, and also I got to meet people and really put myself out there in the world.
Congrats. That's good, George.
Yeah,
really good. Yeah.
Shout out to George, man. Let me on his channel. Yeah. Let me talk some female muscle talk, with you. That's the highlight of my life right there. Be able to talk bodybuilding with some people. Women's bodybuilding at that.
Yeah, and Randy, Randy is a Bad Rap sponsored athlete.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
And
yes, I am.
All right.
Yep. Huge shout out to Eunice and JoJo. They were so gracious to me. They sponsored me for my tan. Although I haven't really gotten to connect face to face with them, I can't wait till one day that I can. Hopefully the goal is for this year that I continue to be one of their sponsored athletes, and get the word out on them. They are totally amazing. I can't wait to meet them.
They are really amazing. This is my second time going to Tampa at the Tampa Pro, and this is where I got to meet Eunice in person. We chatted before. She gave me some guidance. She's a very genuine, very caring person. George, David really helped me got here today. If it wasn't for them?
All right, shout out to them.
That's right.
Yeah. Here's Randy.
That's from today. That's my health session. That earned me a Five Guys burger.
Okay, look at you. Look at her go.
I actually had Five Guys I haven't had Five Guys in years. I forgot how good their burgers were.
Oh yeah, we can have it 3 times a week now.
And the only place that gets out peanuts for some reason.
Yeah, I have been Fat Guys a long time ago myself. And this is Randy at the U.S. Masters USA's. She looked really good. I
Yep,
know, you
third
know,
place.
yeah,
Not
I
bad.
think, but there's a couple of shows which are a lot closer to you. What are you considering? Are you thinking you're gonna take a break next year, or you want
Oh
to
no,
see one?
no. No, I'm not done. I'm determined to get that pro card next year. I'll be
That's
56.
right.
I'm going to be 56. So 56 is going to be a really good number next year. So right now the plan is for us to definitely, I have to grow my quads. My lower body is my lacking um, body part. I had a knee replacement about 14 years ago. So heavy stuff for me can be difficult just because of the range of motion. So, and just genetically, it is what it is. So I've grown in 8 years, but now we are now pushing. So my coach now, him and I are going to train together twice a week, and really pump up my quads and get my quads on point. So the goal is to do the universe on July 2nd. And be ready to go for that. I mean, we did talk about doing Masters National, which is I did that in 22, which was an awesome show. But we're thinking I'm right now my heart and my mind are kind of set on doing the universe. So it's a show that's promoted by Steve and Bev, and it's a really well run show, much like Muscle Contest was not. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
I think most contests are ran by Tamer,
Yes.
and there's stuff going on with him. I'm not going to do too. But also, I also want to shout out who takes time out in her time in her life, and that is the lovely OCB Pro, maybe future IFB Pro, Nicole Strauss. Shout out to my man, the Wanderer. He introduced us. When he did an interview with her, I reached out to her. We should stay in contact. She has been doing pretty good for herself. She's a sponsored athlete. And here, just a little video she's done. I think this was her and her coach.
It's not my coach, it's my friend.
Yeah.
No, the jumpsuit and the romper is the same thing. It's all one piece.
It's a little slow, so we're going to move on to something else.
Yeah,
And she's made her OCB Pro debut in Chesapeake, and she looked really good. She was proud of herself. And
Looks amazing.
it's I like this video here too. I mean,
And let the shoes pop.
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, the person right now. And she has her own YouTube channel, so you want to check it out. I mean, she's doing some big things here. I mean, modeling, video, YouTube. I mean, I'm glad to promote her on my channel, and I appreciate her coming through and give her thoughts. Even though she's not in the NPC or the IFBB, but she is someone who follows sport just as much as I do, and she's a fan of it.
You look amazing, Nicole. You look great.
I didn't even wear one. And the shit broke as I was putting it on.
Yeah.
Wow.
I give you so much credit. I cannot do the shoes. No shoes for this girl.
No heels, huh?
No.
No heels. No wire hangers.
No, this is weird. No. Nicole, you need to ditch the shoes. Come over to the dark
George,
side.
can you hear me?
Yeah, come to the dark side. You cannot resist. So we just lost Nicole. She might come back in. But yeah, I think she's done pretty good for herself.
She looks great.
Yeah,
that's a tough division too, because they're not being supported either. Little by little, they're being taken out of shows and out of things. It still was a pretty big division at USA Masters USA. They had several 35, 40, 45 plus. It was a big turnout for figure. And then of course the bikini and the think they had Fit Model at Masters. I think I'm not
Yeah.
really sure, but it was funny when I had jumped in back in. You guys were talking about the American Gladiator, right? The show.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay,
think you ran
so
into Ice.
so cool. Laurie Frederick and we've connected and we've gone back and forth several times, and we were chatting a lot before the show because Laurie had taken almost like a 25-year break. When Laurie competed the last time, there was only one category, and that was women's bodybuilding. That was it. And then she decided to come back in, and she did figure, and she did really good. I believe she won her show. And then she decided to come over and do Masters USA. She looked phenomenal at her show. And so her and I had a chance, we hung out. So there's like pictures, I think I posted them on my Instagram of her and I, and there she is. She is so cool. So she does a podcast called Chilling with Ice, and she's taken a break from it, but come after the new year, her and I are connecting, and I'll be on her podcast with her.
Oh wow,
Yeah. So I'm super
that's
excited. So
awesome.
I was so
Yeah.
starstruck, though. Honest to God, I'm like, this is like ice. Like, I turned into this little kid. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I remember, her and I are basically. Laurie is 60 or 61, and I'm 55. So she's about 5 years older than me. But I remember the show, and I remember, and she was telling me all about the documentary that they did. I don't know if you guys got to see it on Netflix, and she was kind of telling me the whole background stuff and the behind the scenes stuff, which was kind of cool. And one of the guys, I think is it Nitro? I think it might be
Nitro.
Nitro. I think Nitro competes. He just did Masters National.
Oh, nice.
And he's planning on doing it again. And I think Laurie's going to go back and do Masters National in Pittsburgh next year. And I was trying to get her to come over to the dark side of physique. And she's like, no, I like the shoes. But she is one badass, let me tell you. She's friggin' awesome. So that was so cool being able to. And she sent me like a text message on Christmas and, wishing me a happy new year and a Merry Christmas and whatever. So her and I have connected, which is cool.
Yeah, this lady, if you remember her, she was women's bodybuilding before she got into American Gladiators. She took a long time off. She also is an actress and performer. Come back in her early 60s, and she looks pretty good. She looks good for women, even women who are half her age.
She looks phenomenal. Her placing should have been higher at that show.
Yeah, she should have placed higher.
I was there firsthand and saw it. You know what I mean? And she should have placed higher. I think she came in fourth, either fourth or fifth. But she should have been in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think with judges, they always find something when they do the critiques, and they find something maybe a little off that we gotta see, because I'm not a judge, I'm a fan. And there's some things that I may not see. I'm not looking at some things, hey, that looks pretty good, but then you might miss something else. But also, as you know, this year for the Olympia, we have a new Miss Olympia. And this was a surprise for me because, you know what? Honestly, I was rooting for Lola Montez. And Rayla Gale is now the current Miss Olympia figure champion. A title that was held by Sid Gillen for 8 years.
A very long, long time.
Long time.
And I think that's just something big. As you know, here's the thing. Everybody was looking at Jessica Rabidia and also looking at Lola Montez. And
those are two I was looking at.
Yeah. And Jessica
I thought Lola Montez was gonna get it. I was really surprised. I thought she was gonna get it for sure.
Yeah. And the thing is that, I think they probably would want to go a different direction. They want to go with somebody whose aesthetics were similar to Sydney's, the development. I think that was probably the reason why they went with someone like Maria, because she's a little bit more in the mold of Sid, great conditioning, great shape. I felt like, to me, honestly, I was going for Lola because I think she's very more, attractive. Nothing against Rhea, but I think, she, Lola has a great aesthetically, pleasing look. You know, Jessica, I feel like she's really big for the division. She's even at one point has competed in women's physique.
Yeah.
Or was it a few years back?
And don't count out Missy Truscott. Missy's my
No, you're not.
Missy's my girl. I love Missy.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Missy is one
But
badass.
Missy, I think she's either she work on a few things for figure or go back to fitness. But some say even could she do women's physique if she put on the size.
Yeah, I think that she would do very well in women's physique. The biggest reason why she stepped out is because of the injury that she sustained.
Yeah.
And, that really put her out of commission. She had a really tough rehab. And for her to be able to come back, and she says, like mentally, it was one of the worst times in her life. But I follow her YouTube channel that her and her husband do. And she mentioned about a week ago, she said, don't count me out of never returning to fitness. So, like, who knows what's going to happen to me? She's qualified for life because she's 2-time or 3-time Miss O and 3-time and 3-time. And then she's like a 3-time Arnold champ too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep, she's a lifer.
So I feel that, I don't know, we might see her back out on stage. Maybe. I would love to see her at like the Masters Olympia. That would be awesome. But don't count her out.
I don't think she's old for Masters Olympia.
She's Missy?
I think Missy's just in her mid-30s. Yeah.
Really? I thought
Is she old enough?
Old. I don't know.
No, she's not. I don't think. No, she's not even 40 yet. Because she's been competing as a pro for maybe a good 10 years, just about. And no, not 10 years. A good 6 or 7 years. And I think when she turned pro, she was in her mid-20s. You can check. You can find her birthday or something like that. But she is not old enough for Masters O just yet. A few more years. And the thing is, if she wants to do Masters O, because just where it is, does it every year because she likes to be competitive and active. But one lady I want to give also a shout out to is the first, lady from the UK. I think it was a double header. We had 2 ladies from UK winning and becoming new champions in the divisions. Is Marcel Massa. If I got her name right on my website. And this is a lady. She's amazing. I follow on social media. Been in contact a few times, but I would love to have her on the guest. My man, Glenn at the female at Amazon Fitness Magazine has had a few times. She has a great book tour. She's been a multi-time Arnold competitor. I think she's invited for this year's Arnold. The question is, can she hold a title? There's some impressive ladies in fitness, but I think her aesthetic is, great physique, great lines. I would say very, she's very athletic. She's been a gymnast and a dancer for a long time. I think she can probably hold a title for as long as she can, depending if somebody like Oksana doesn't come back or someone like Missy doesn't come back.
What was the other one? The other fitness competitor. She was tiny. Oh my God! Why can't I?
Shoot, Taylor something or not?
Lamont.
Yeah, something like that.
Who was
Lamont,
it?
Yeah, tell him. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Taylor got. I think she got second or third at that show. She got third, and she's still young. I don't think she's even 30.
She's not even 30 yet. Yeah.
No, Taylor, they better watch her because she's coming right behind them. But I do have a feeling that if Missy was strong enough and her mindset was in a good place and she trained back, there's no doubt in my mind, that unless Oksana was to return, nobody's going to touch Missy. They've tried. They've come close, but she's just that good. We'll see where she. Nicole, what are your thoughts on? Do you know Missy Truscott at all?
Yeah, I don't know her personally, but yeah, I know who she is.
What are your thoughts being a figure competitor? Where do you think
I
she stacks up?
I think she's too big as a figure competitor.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
looks really big.
I see her as women's physique.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Definitely, she's big.
and
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows?
I see quite a few, and again, we go back to some figure competitors that they need to really think about if they want to stay in that division much longer, because some are at the level where
Yeah.
they are closer to women's physique, even going all the way. One lady, her name is Gabrielle, and she has a twin. I think she has it's a twin sister, or I think they're twins. But her sister Teresa, they both compete in figure. And Gabby, if I'm gonna call Gabby, so say Gabby, I'll call Gabby or Gabby, whatever. She looks like she should be doing physique, because and the thing is, up to her if she's gonna do it or not. I think her muscle density is too, like, she's done quite a few shows this year. I mean, she was busy. I think she did at least 6 shows. I think her sister got a qualification. I remember when I saw her when I was watching you, and I saw her competing. I looked at her, I took a picture and put her picture in Natalia, and I said, that's just about as big as Natalia.
Oh yeah, she's at the cusp of women's physique.
Yeah,
Most
I
definitely.
mean, yeah, maybe right here she's doing a double bicep
Look at her
pose.
lats. Yeah.
I mean,
That's women's bodybuilding right there. It is.
she can
Oh,
go all.
oh, she's saying
Remember,
that's women's bodybuilding.
remember Ashley was figure, and then she went up, and then it went long before now she's number 2 in the world.
But again, until they have clear cut distinctions as to what each category should be, which then I just don't think they're ever going to do it. I think it's just
Mm-mm.
this like mystery, you know what I mean? And then all that this creates is yet we will have another division. It's coming. I don't know what we're going to call the next one, but
What's the next division gonna be called?
who knows? Who knows? Do whatever the hell you want division. I don't know.
Exactly.
Get his big as shit division.
Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Because when you're, again, for me, now that I've competed, this was my second time at a national level. When you really can see national level competitors that are like women's bodybuilding and women's physique on an amateur level, you can clearly see the difference between the two for the most part. My first show, I remember my first national show I did, I remember they had a woman, she was in my division and she won her pro card in women's heavyweight. She was the women's heavyweight overall champion and then won a pro card in women's physique. You tell me how that's possible.
Oh wow.
2 completely different looks, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
felt like at this show that I just did in Las Vegas, it was very, very clear. And you did not have, I think there was one competitor that crossed over and did women's physique out of the bodybuilders. The rest of them were 100% women's bodybuilding. And then they held their own line. That's where they wanted to be. So it was the first time that I saw, it was very clear. When you put me next to one of them, I wouldn't have belonged out with the women's bodybuilders. I don't have that density. But I think when you get into a pro level, it's completely different. Nicole, in OCB, do they do bodybuilding or is it just women's physique?
No, they don't have women's bodybuilding. The highest is women's physique.
And is it, and
Yeah.
are the physique competitors kind of equal to like what you would see on an NPC level?
No, I feel like they're a lot smaller.
Mama.
They can come in very lean, but like as far as like you see how like, in NPC how much bigger they are,
Right.
how much fuller their muscle. You don't see that so much in OCB. They're a lot smaller.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember I seen there's a natural competitor. I forgot her name, and her physique is just crazy.
Is it Charlotte?
No, it's what's the name?
Because she has a great physique too for a next competitor.
I think it's Liz or it's in the back of my head, because I've seen some pictures of her, and I even did a thing where I compared her to Sarah, and if Jim was here, he'll know who it is. We talked about it before, and her condition is just crazy. She could probably jump over and do NPC, even get a pro card in NPC. Natural bodybuilding is starting, because with the Pittsburgh Pro this year, they had added a natural pro qualifier, and there's been some ladies who got the pro cards there. One lady, David interviewed, her name is Trisha, and she just made her Olympia debut, and now she's going back next year, because she did the Big Reader show. And I think there's a lady that I think she had an issue right now with OCB because of certain concerning things about, there was a drug test she took and then some shit going on and she got blocked. And it's just, I reached out to her and, I think she said she wants to stay low and don't want to get into it just yet, but I would love to have her on.
Understandable.
Yep.
Yeah. So folks, I'm not going to hold y'all folks much longer. And, I always appreciate y'all support of me and my content. We talk about things going on here. 2026, for what does it look like for y'all? What's it look like for y'all?
Oh, man, hopefully go to the Chicago Pro. That'd be my first bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
Right in my backyard.
Yeah, I want to go there too. I want to go to the Chicago
That's a
Pro
great
show.
show. It's a good show.
Like I said, I'm hoping to, I've talked to Eunice and we're hoping maybe I might come on the show. She said she's planning on competing. I'm not going to drop anything yet. I want to keep her confidence because, she told me this in confidence. I'm hoping maybe I might go to a show again. And it's a great opportunity for me to get out there and to meet some of the ladies I've done interviews with, ladies I follow on social media. I mean, I really, for me, I'm an old country boy, and just going out there in the world, meeting y'all people, it's great. And I do appreciate when y'all come here and support my content, support the work I'm doing. Like I said, I'm a small channel. Like I said, I'm skin in the game. But when somebody like Female Body Channel reached out to me, hey George, we want you to come on and do this commentary because you watch the nationals. Yeah, I watch the nationals because I knew a couple ladies who were competing and get their pro cards. I came on and just we had a good back and forth. Me, AJ, and JB. AJ said that he called me the Emperor of Women's Bodybuilding. I said, you showed it for Jake Wood. I said, I ain't seen anything Jake Wood. I heard that. My title is the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, not just exclusively women's bodybuilding, but all with not so much with certain divisions. But I'm interviewing tomorrow a lady who does bikini, and she also did Master USA's. I had an interview with a young lady who's planning on trying to get her pro cards next year. Lady who's going to plan on trying to compete and maybe get a shot for the Olympia. Some up and comers who have promise. Doing this content is really been really fun. I mean, and also it's work like anything. If you get into it, like what other guy says, never do it for free. So, and folks, I often say, I usually have this in the comment section. If you know my banner, where is it? And sometimes I forget about it. But folks, if you want to help assist in my future plans, there's my GoFundMe, there's my Venmo, my Cash App. I mean, that really helps me as a content maker because I got some money, I save a little money to the side, but then there's always expenses. And I appreciate any help y'all can offer or give. So, just let you just shoot out, check out. And also, if you're someone who has a subject you want to talk about, something that really affects you as a competitor or just as a fan, if it's something we really sneak our teeth into and very interesting and very, very informative, let me know. Shoot me a line. You can go check out my IG, all the way George page. There's my other IG, George45. It's the one I had before now. I have a new phone, so I'll be able to jump on that a little more. and also you can go to my other platforms and let me know. So, folks, one thing I'm going to do is this: bodybuilding also has a often this happens where we have people who similarly life cuts short for them. Some young
We definitely
competitors,
lost. Yeah,
Yes.
we
yes,
lost a couple of faces. One of them was killed.
yeah, yeah. That is Amy Muscles. She passed away. She was going to make her debut this year,
Yeah,
and
she
I
was gonna
saw,
make her debut. I was like, damn.
yeah, and I saw this. This was posted on Sean Ray's IG, and I would say it's a great shot. Even though, like I said, some of y'all are not a big fan of Sean, but it is really appreciate him doing what he did and just recognizing these people. We had a young lady who passed away earlier the year, Jodie Vance, and 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and that is you shouldn't be she's still in my mind. Say that's still a baby. She didn't have to be my child. My heart goes out to her daughter, her mother and her twin sister. I mean, it's hard to I've lost a brother and sister. It's hard to bury somebody you love. I lost a mother and a father. It's hard just to not. You can never ever see him again. So he put some memorial. So I'm gonna put it up here and share with y'all. Rest in peace to those lives that we lost in 2025. Condolences to their family, friends, people who know them and love them. And I can tell you the truth, this is something, and I hope we can be able to see, maybe survive 2026. So, my guess, I'm gonna give y'all a last opportunity to say something. So, as you know, as a gentleman, I always go with the lady. So, and we go with Randy first.
So, George, thank you for everything that you do. It really means a lot to us that we have a forum and a place where we are acknowledged. So keep doing what you're doing. I think my goal for the new year beyond, competing is just to stay healthy, stay healthy, stay happy. My daughter just got married November 1st. So I'm hoping within a year, maybe a little grandchild, that would be great. But, being able just to be healthy and hoping, I'm going for my scan again for my thyroid. There is something that is there. The doctor does suspect that it is thyroid cancer again, but we're letting it sleep for now. So, and I'm not letting that get into my way, and we'll deal with it if and when we have to. But I think I'm just going to keep trucking, and I'm just so blessed to be alive and healthy and have had really great things happen this year. I would like to pay a lot more attention this year to talking about mental health issues, especially in our sport. I think we really need to delve in and talk about this stuff because there's women that are out there that might be listening to this and they don't know where to go or who to go to or who to talk to. I'd like to also talk more about stuff for women over 50, and what we go through as athletes to prep because we're not in our 20s. So things are a little bit different. So I just recently finished my certification from Precision Nutrition. So I am one of their certified nutrition coaches now. So I'm hoping to get going with that stuff as well. But I'm just so happy to be here, just healthy and alive, and hopefully get that pro card this year. So.
All right, thank you, Randy. Nicole, you next.
Well, just wanted to say thank you, George, and thank you everybody on this panel. And thank you to Kay, and he's not here right now. And just thank you for giving women in bodybuilding a voice where we can express ourselves, express our opinions. You know, I love the fact that it's a judgment-free zone. You know, I've been able to open up about some things that Randy mentioned. Like I'm still going through post-show depression. I get very depressed after the show. I'm actually still going through, even though my show is October 11th. So yeah, I think mental health issues and just like what we deal with mentally, surrounded by the sport. You know, not really feeling appreciated. We don't really make any money. You know. So, but yeah, thank you so much for this platform. Thank you guys for your support, and I love you guys and happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you're next, Alex.
Well, George, I want to thank you for inviting me on your channel, and thank you, David, Eunice, Jojo, and anyone I met who helped me got more involved this year. I've been a fan of women's bodybuilding for so long, but at times I had no idea how to express myself in the past because I wasn't sure how others would feel about it. But it's until I met you guys, and you really have encouraged me to be more myself, and teach me more about the sport and the history and everybody around me. And I got the opportunity to go to one of the biggest bodybuilding contests in the world. It was a challenge, but it was it has a series of ups and downs for me, but I think it was a good for me regardless. I'm hoping that this new year will help me, and like you hope, get myself out there, not too much, but keep it in balance, and you know keep on what I'm doing best, and hoping there is a place for me in the world. I want to thank you guys for helping me, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And
Happy
Josh.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, first and foremost, I got to thank you, my man, George. Man, I enjoy talking about women's bodybuilding. Been a fan for a long time. Shout out to David from FBB Forum. Man, that's the reason why I started Women's Bodybuilding Empire on my Instagram. You know, you guys inspired me to, dig deep and talk about the sport and the new competitor that's coming out, current competitors, and meeting guys like Alex right here and talking to some of the female competitors. Having me on your channel, I really appreciate that. No words can express that. I don't know what else to say. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year.
All
Happy New Year.
right. Well, I'm going to say thank you, my guests, and give you a big applause here. I really appreciate what y'all have, contribute to my channel and help me to be knowledgeable about the sport, to learn a lot more about what it takes to be not just a woman in sport, but a competitor, be a man or a woman. I want to
Yeah, in
shout,
general.
I want to shout out my dear friend Eunice Martinez Kitchen. Give me this great hat. Give me this. This is like I still love this. I want to shout out my big brother, Mr. Big Keith Williams, and his little wife Tina S. Williams, who come on here now and then, share their thoughts and opinions, and often tell me stuff that I need to know. Can't forget Bev. I was hoping Bev could make it today, but I know she's working. Shout out to Bev. Who's been come on every so often. We can get her on here. I know she got a lot of things. She's busy. She also can tell me some stuff that more people don't know. Shout out to Alex, getting to meet you and talking with you, and know you're a fan of my content. Shout out to my brother from another, David Bryant. He just sent me a Christmas card, him and his daughter and his mother, and I appreciate that. People like Andrea Sauer, Rip Vixen, people like you, Randy, you've been through hell, and you, Wendy, both been through hell and back, and you're still standing. People like Nicole, she's gone on her way. She really has blown up just this year and made her pro. All you who content and commented, Again, the people who really matter to me, I can't forget my brothers and sisters, um, my dear mother. I miss her so. She was my woman. And if it wasn't taking care of her, I wouldn't be doing this because I needed something to help with my mindset because I'm seeing this woman I love going through something. I can't do nothing more for her, but just to hold her hand, stand by her, and do the work I can do. And then when she left me, I was like, I had, what was that for me? I don't have no kids. I got no, but then doing this keeps my mind going, keeps me, gives me energized. And also, you know, all you out there, the haters, the lovers, we appreciate the haters because you know what? You care so little. We care, you hate so much, you care so little. And also, can't forget about the channel and all the everybody who does content on you, ladies. I mean, KL the Wanderer, you know, he's a fan of muscled women, not much as a sport, but he's getting up there. He's getting up there. And Jeremy, you know, who just was here, comes in every so often. I appreciate him. One of these days, I will hope to see. And I can't. I mean, this is my dream. Is always going to be one day. The opportunity is to get to meet this lovely lady right here.
Andrew Shaw.
Yeah, this is my dream come true. This would be the topping of everything because what I'm doing. And she is a woman that has set the standard for the sport, especially for women. She has, really set a new level. And I respect her work, her commitment, her passion. I mean, she is a generation for the sport. And I hope maybe she will beat Iris's record or tie it, whichever she does. It's okay with me. I'm gonna love that. So, folks. So that's all I can say about that. Thank you. Feel like Lou Garrett going out there today. I feel like the greatest man in the world. The world. But thank you again. I appreciate your support. Randy just left. Thank you, Randy. Shout out to the people that were here. My man KL, the Wanderer came through. A shout out to my man, DJ Jeff who came through. Shout out to Jeremy who came through. Shout out to Josh, Randy, Nicole, and to Alex who's here. Anybody who watched my channel, my content, follow, subscribe. Also, again, my man Jeremy is going to have an interview with Rachel. I think I forget the name, Newman. Tomorrow is going to be at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time, 1:00 Central, 12:00 Pacific. No, Mountain, and 11:00 Pacific. So you want to check out, go to the Art of Female Muscle. He's trying to get more interviews. Let's get him out there. Again, folks, I thank you all. Appreciate the time you took out here and sit and talk with me, and I hope you're all the best for upcoming New Year.
Thank you, George. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
George, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
To quote my man, The Dark Knight, you never have to. But you know what? You're welcome. So, folks, this is Mal Over your page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe. I am out. Happy New Year. Good luck. God bless. And see you in 2026.
See you next year.
Next year.